Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Prescribed Fire and Smoke Briefing for Friday, March 29th, 2024. Precipitation is shown here for the past 7 days on the left and the past 30 days percent of normal on the right. Still been a pretty active day for the past week, even the past couple of days. And the last month is showing some areas of above normal over Idaho and much of central and southern Utah. We do have some drier areas there in central and southern Nevada. Snow for the past 72 hours is shown here on the left. A lot of high elevation snow with this latest round of showers and the front that has passed through. So here, snow over Idaho, western Wyoming, Utah, Nevada. Pretty much all of our higher elevations really did get some snow over the past couple of days, except for maybe the very far south. And the current snowpack image is shown here on the right, still looking really good across Utah and Nevada, above normal in many of those areas. The Sierra Front's right at normal, but further north over Idaho, those values are closer to normal and even a touch below normal across the central Idaho mountains. This morning's satellite imagery is shown here. Our normal image isn't loading this morning, so we can see this low pressure system off the Northern California coast that's going to be bringing some more wet weather really starting later today and for the weekend. But we do have some moisture still in place today over portions of Utah. So again, by this afternoon, here we see that low off the California coast, bringing moisture into the Great Basin. Today is kind of the break day for precip, although some areas will still see some precipitation tomorrow, but it does pick up for the weekend. Ventilation rates are pretty high across much of the area, especially across the south. If we look at transport winds, the winds are strongest over southern Nevada and southern Utah with gusts up to maybe 50 miles an hour or so in some of those areas in Nevada. Pretty windy ahead of that low. Ahead of that front that's kind of stalled out across the central Great Basin. Mixing heights are also pretty high across the area today. Temperatures are in the mid 50s for most areas, here and there a little bit cooler, closer to that low, but yeah, it looks like right around the mid 50s for most areas. And the probability of precip shown here on the right does show some precip right along that frontal boundary in central Nevada and central Utah, but a little bit drier further north and further south. On Saturday, the low drops further south along the California coast, allowing moisture to really stream up into the Great Basin, especially Utah and Nevada. So we expect precipitation to pick up quite significantly on Saturday with low elevation rain and high elevation snow. Ventilation rates are high. On Saturday, we'll still see some gusty winds, especially over southern Utah and the Arizona Strip. The winds lighten up a bit over southern Nevada as the low drops a little bit further south, and mixing heights still stay pretty high. On Sunday, the low begins to move inland into southern California. That will keep moisture streaming into the Great Basin for another rainy and cool day on Easter Sunday. Transport winds are shown here. Breezy across much of the area, but we don't see those really strong winds anywhere on Sunday, and mixing heights remain high. Forecasted clearing index for Utah for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is shown here. Pretty high values through the 3-day period. And the 3-day precipitation totals are shown here. Lots of precip coming to Utah, Nevada, up into southeast Idaho and western Wyoming. The central Idaho mountains, unfortunately, will miss out on the bulk of this precip, but points further south should get a pretty good precipitation event once again Saturday into Sunday. By Monday, the low moves into Southern California, and we'll see drier air moving back into the Great Basin for decreasing showers across the area. Ventilation rates still staying pretty high on Monday. And then by Tuesday, that low is going to continue to make its way eastward over the southwest, but we begin to build in a ridge across the western U.S. for drying and warming conditions region-wide. Those warm and dry conditions will persist into Wednesday with the ridge in place and drier air, but another low moving into the Pacific Northwest will be on our doorstep. Ventilation rates remaining high on Wednesday. On Thursday, that low drops south into California rather quickly for that fast-moving front, bringing more showers to the Great Basin, especially Idaho and Nevada, beginning on Thursday. Ventilation rates still remaining high. The precipitation accumulations for days 4 and 5. This is Monday and Tuesday. These are the days really we'll get that break in the precip with the ridge building in. So a little bit of lingering precip on Monday, but then Tuesday should be a pretty clear day. Tuesday and Wednesday should both be pretty clear days before the next low moves in on Thursday. The extended forecast, April 5th to the 11th, keeps cooler temperatures in place across the west coast of the western U.S. And above normal chances for precip across much of the western and central U.S. This concludes today's briefing. Please check back on Monday for the latest updates.